Hey, what's good with y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good? It's the Thawahgabar up in here. Hey, what's good with y'all, man? Thawahgabar. Thawahgabar for Black Authentic Truth on this Sunday evening. How y'all doing on this Sunday evening? I got a couple of topics I'm gonna go into. I'm gonna try to line them up and go into them real fast. But as you know, we always get up in here and then things just get, they get stretched out because we pulling out so many different angles on all of these different stories. Um, and to be honest with y'all, I wasn't going to even go live today. I was going to take a little time off. Like I said, I was going to try to be, I'm in the process of restructuring and trying to do different things as far as how I present videos, the content, just tweak it a little bit and try to find, you know, my niche. What's good with you, Renee? Sister Barata, now y'all up in here. You read it right. We already know about Remy Ma and Papoose. That story is going crazy. I'll talk a little bit about the mass marketing of United States government. Few videos. All of this is based upon the videos I'm gonna be going into. The abortion and Tonye Anyanwu, some African that has he has some choice words for Black Americans. Okay, a Nigerian. So I'm gonna end with that. So let's just bring it out. So basically, everybody has seen that the story with Remy Ma and Papoose. I guess she went through his phone and found that he was talking to Clarissa Shields, the GWOAT, the world champion in women's boxing, and I think she did a little MMA, and it just blew up on the social media airwaves. And everybody has their opinion about this and that, and it's just a really ugly look because Remy Ma and Papoose, I guess they were the image of Black love, right? They were the image of, a Black couple being together, being a beautiful, successful Black couple with a family. And it's a good image for Black people. And a lot of Black people looked at them as a great example of what Black love is supposed to be, right? Well, I guess everybody was wrong. Everybody was wrong. And once again, this goes back to what I was saying last week about celebrities, where the story came out about Jay-Z. And the list goes on. P. Diddy, whoever, R. Kelly. The list goes on about the stories, the negativity that comes out after a while. Now the image is good. And you know what? Sprite used to have this commercial called, it used to say at the end of the commercial, it used to say, image is good, thirst is everything. Image is good, thirst is everything. Like the image is good. And the people that look at these celebrities, Black people, the thirst to want to have that life is everything until it all falls down, until the story comes out, until you see the reality of what's actually happening behind the scenes. Then you understand, or well, at least you're supposed to understand, like, these celebrities are not people we should be patterning our life behind and trying to follow. And I'm just here to tell you, it always is going to fall down. There is no happily ever after when it comes to Black relationships in the limelight. What happened with Remy Ma and Papoose is the same thing that happens every day in your local neighborhood, in a Black neighborhood. This happens all the time, and it's childish. It's absolutely childish, but this is not something you have not heard before. This is not something you haven't seen before. This is not something you personally have not experienced your damn self. You have experienced this before. You have seen this in the Black community. And yeah, this is part of our lives. You know why it's part of our lives? Because at the end of the day, we are a people that have not patterned ourselves after righteousness. We are a people that have patterned ourselves after worldly things. And so with that comes all of the problems, are the lack of ability to work through problems. And that's why you see people break up like it ain't nothing today. even this younger generation, you see like, and don't get me wrong, I know we were taught when we were growing up, like, you're not going to be with the same person for your whole life. A lot of us was taught that, which was the wrong thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it put it in a lot of our minds as young men and young women that life is just like a game, and like we're just going to go through people and lay with people until we find the person that makes us happy. Well, in that case, nobody ever is going to make you happy. There are always going to be things that are going to upset you. You don't stay with somebody because everything you're always happy. You don't stick it out in a relationship because everything is always on the up and up. You know what I'm saying? But this generation is taught like the minute that you're not happy, the minute things go awry, the minute there's some controversy, then you need to bail. You need to get out of that situation, and you need to do it fast. And therefore, you know, these type of situations you will continue to see. And once again, you can't look at celebrities and their relationships and think that that's how your relationship should be. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. There's a lot of dysfunction in that industry. Many people don't talk about it, and many people choose to not see it, especially us as, I'm not going to say us because I'm not included, but Black people who are fans of these people, who idolize these people. They refuse to see the flaws and the dysfunction that these people have. It's many Black people that are still listening to R. Kelly right now. Doesn't matter what he did to those young girls. That does not matter. All that matters is that he made good music. That's it. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's in here. Like the video, share the video, please. Boost that algorithm. All right. If you're getting something out of the things that I say, the content that I produce, please show your appreciation to a Black man doing real things. Like, share, and even comment. Say what's up. Because I know once my real ones get up in here, they're gonna be all in the chat. Right. Shout out to Black Rain 303. Shout out to Black Dazzle. Shout out to y'all. But yeah, man, that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about this whole situation. It's childish, but we've seen this in the Black community. We have a lot of childish in us. We have not grown up. And what you see here is that I believe Remy Ma is like 45 years old. So I don't know how old Papoose is. Excuse me. I don't know how old he is, but it shows you that you can have everything together. You can be a millionaire. But then when things hit the fan, you still is going to get, you're going to get on the level of a teenager, right? Because this is what this whole drama looks like. It looks like a high school teenage play out. You know what I mean? And everybody that has things going on for them has a job. They're probably paying rent. Doesn't mean that you're mature. Doesn't mean that you got life figured out. And this situation with Remy Ma and Papoose is a prime example of that. It's a prime example. What's up with you, Bulls fan 25? Always rocking with me. Shout out to you. It is a prime example of people not having it all together. Although they got money, they can buy flashy purses and shoes and clothes and present themselves, you know, in a way where it looks like they have all of their ducks in a row. But what you see is with a lot of these celebrities is that they're no different than the average Black person. Their relationship is no different than the average Black relationship. And so that's my take on it. That's my take on Remy Ma and Papoose. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about that situation? I look at it like it's childish, but it's not nothing new. It's not nothing we haven't seen. It's not nothing we haven't seen. Oh, I forgot the other dynamic to that. Now, I don't know all of the particulars, but I do know that was in a rap battle. That probably was like over a year ago where Geechee Gotti had brought that out. And I don't think he's the first one to bring that news out that Remy Ma was with another guy, a battle rapper. He was battling. What's his name? Easy the Block Captain, right? This is the other guy that she's supposed to have been dating for like 2 years or whatever. And he's bringing it out while she's there because she owns the rap, the battle rap league. And she's there standing there kind of like, I don't know if y'all familiar with Smack. So she's standing there listening to both of them. Just so happens this dude is the dude that she's, you know, messing with on the low, and Geechee Gotti out of Long Beach, he's going in telling the, you know, breaking it down, all of that. Now it's more, that video is more relevant because of the things that have came out. The point I want to make about that is because, you know, a lot of times we get in relationships in the Black community where we don't know what is what. So you get with a woman that is previously just with a guy that she's been with long term, and it's not clarified. What is the situation? Are y'all together? Are you not together? What is going on? Y'all still living together? You know what I mean? So my understanding is she's messing with this dude, but off and on, she's still in the same house with Papoose. That's a ugly situation. Ugly situation. Anyway, it came out that Papoose put his hands on him, knocked him out, whatever the case may be, right? This is the thing about situations like that. As a man, you should not even be in a situation like that. You should not entertain a woman that is still dealing with the man. You know what I mean? Because this is what could happen. Violence could be the ending of it, or even death. Now, how many times have we seen in the Black community where this situation plays out and somebody ends up in the grave? It's an ugly situation, and I would advise any man not to entertain a woman where you playing both sides. But a lot of you brothers are so, you know, conniving and what's the word? A lot of brothers are, you think you got a leg up because you're messing with a woman that has a guy, that has a man. Like, you don't know the type of danger you put in your life. You don't know the type of danger you putting yourself in or her. Situations could really pop off. Situations could really pop up. Salagi, let me, what the Poppy, what are you talking about? Do you know where you at? I don't think you know where you at. I don't think you know where you at. Bulls fan said, have no thoughts on the subject, ignorant of who these people are and choosing to stay ignorant because they don't sound like they are worth my efforts of doing a Google search. I understand, Bulls fan, but the thing is this type of activity plagues Black people. It plagues the Black community. And many brothers and sisters could learn from seeing something like that, to not pop into don't hop into a situation like that. Do not hop in. Like, the only thing that can come out of a situation like that is either one of two things. You can either get hurt or you can lose your life over it. You know what I mean? And this plays out a lot. Everybody in the Black community, you know, we're not raised with the wisdom and the understanding of what to do and what not to do. If that was the case, we wouldn't have all of this dysfunction that we have as we have in our families today. So, you know, it helps for brothers and sisters to hear, you know, a breakdown, a perspective of a situation that now it's big on social media, but in reality, it really is not that big. And it is something that is common within our people. Let me see what Poppy said. Dating a Black woman, you said dating a Black woman, you're guaranteed to catch a disease. Facts. Poppy, yeah, I might have to let you go. You're gonna have to slide. This is not a Black woman hating a life. Black Authentic Truth ain't about hating Black men or Black women. And I would doubt that you're even Black. If you are, it's a damn shame. All right. So you up out of here. Yeah. So listen, I know, like, I say certain things, but it is not to get on either gender when it comes to Black people, right? It is not to, I'm not here to attack Black men. I'm not here to attack Black women. I'm here to tell the truth, right? So anytime I'm talking about an issue, the topic may be Black women, but I'm not on that type of time where this is Black men versus Black women and vice versa. That's not the type of time Black Authentic Truth is on. Black Authentic Truth is on the type of time where I'm pointing out things that affect all of us, okay? All of us. The People Champion said he's not black, he's Spanish. The People's Champion, how do you know what he is? That's my question, unless you know him. So the point that I was bringing out, Bulls fan, was basically, you know, we need people to talk about these issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like to really touch on celebrity stuff, celebrity gossip, but this is something that happens a lot in the black community. This is something we don't have straight. And the reason we don't have straight is, number one, we don't even have an identity. We don't have a moral foundation and basis that we're operating from to say, like, we shouldn't be getting ourselves in a situation like that, right? Also, when I was younger, I wish that I had, you know, people that would point out little things like that and tell you that this situation is bogus. This is a no-go. Don't even deal with a man or a woman like this on this type of time. So that's all. That's it. But basically, that's what I had to give on the Remy Ma and Papoose thing. Now, when it comes to Christmas, I want to talk about that. How many of y'all up in here are celebrating Christmas? Yeah, this can get as controversial as anything. How many of y'all celebrate holidays? How many of y'all are celebrating Christmas? Let's hear it. Listen, it's no shame in your game, because I grew up celebrating every holiday. And so, you know, I'm not here to put anybody down because they still celebrate. I'm just here to, you know, to educate and to enlighten people. I'm not here for, you know, like, you know, you this, you that. I mean, if you want to be that, go ahead and be it. I'm just here to be, you know, the bringer of truth and enlightenment, right? But a lot of black people are looking forward to Christmas. And the brother, my brother Soccer Warrior, had posted, he was up in a nightclub last night chilling, and it was a brother in there with a Grinch. I believe he had on a Grinch hoodie with some Grinch styled Air Force Ones. And nobody was talking to him. Nobody was coming up to him. And he was just saying how lame it looked for a grown man to be dressed like that. And I said, you know, I thought in my head, like, you see people putting on the ugly sweaters and putting on Santa Claus outfits and all of that. And like Christmas to me ain't even about kids. It's about the adults, right? And it's like, as an adult, I just couldn't see myself doing those things no longer. And it's not just because I'm an adult, but I think about how foolish it is today now. Like, could you imagine, like, me as a grown man holding a little sparkler on the 4th of July, or me as a grown man putting on, you know, a Grinch outfit to go to a club? Like, it's just crazy that we're still locked in so tightly to these things. And we also feel strongly about what happens to us. And all of these things come from the society, you know, of white supremacy. And so we can't really be mad, right, if we're still involving ourselves in the celebrations of white supremacy. And on a historical note, I will go into it. I'm gonna make a video where I'm gonna actually go into, you know, some of the history of, you know, how you get the, you know, the red and white Santa Claus outfit, how you get, you know, the mistletoe, how you get these different elements. What was black people doing when Christmas was introduced to them on a plantation? I will be definitely going into that, and I might just do it because I am off on Wednesday, which is December 25th. I might just do it on Christmas just to ruin, you know, that holly jolly time for a lot of black folks, because, you know, we don't like truth. But yeah, man, we be locked into these holidays, and it's like, at this point in time, I mean, information is so available, so it's so easy to get in a, you know, to find out things that at this point it's like it doesn't even make sense to be so sleep unless you just want to be sleep. But listen, I'm not coming down on nobody. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I'm just gonna bring out the information. I'm gonna keep it black and authentic and real and truth. All right. So I'm going to get into my first video. This video is about the immigrants. Y'all remember I have been talking about, you know, how after the election, a lot of black folks were mad, going as far as making TikTok videos, you know, saying, well, they're washing their hands. They don't care what's going to happen. with the immigrants. When ICE come, it's like they don't care because Mexican people didn't vote for Kamala Harris to get in office. Well, here's a video where you see not only, you know, when it comes to Mexicans being affected, not only will Black people and other people be affected if there is no workforce, the employers will be affected too. Affected too. So let me get that video. All right. Shout out to everybody that's rocking with me. Make sure you like the video, share the video. You know what I mean? Comment, say what's up. I'll shout you out. You know what I mean? Let's get this.
It wouldn't be feasible or profitable for us to produce milk.
So you need workers like this year-round?
Yes, yes.
Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota, her farm is just a few miles away. This farmer who voted for her, who voted for Trump, who still supports them, doesn't believe that they would round up immigrants and ask them for their immigration status, because it's an open secret that farms in this state are held up by undocumented workers.
You hear that? This is the secret that no one knows, or people ignore, particularly the people who are Trump supporters who have voted for Donald Trump. Now, this farmer has voted for Donald Trump, and now he's saying he won't be able to survive without those immigrants working at his farm. There's a lot of things that won't get to certain states without those immigrants. There's a lot of milk and eggs that won't get to certain states without those immigrants. Don't y'all think that's ironic? It's like they didn't think about this when they was voting for Trump and what he stood on. They didn't think about that. They didn't think like, okay, he's saying he's going to get them out of here. I'm going to vote for Trump. Meanwhile, I benefit from these same immigrants working in my farm. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? They did not think about that. That's crazy.
Are you worried, like some of your other farmers, that if there were a mass roundup of undocumented migrants, that you might lose workers? You might not have enough workers.
Well, the question I asked, how are they going to do that? Within 2 days, we will not have food.
Did you hear that? She asked him, is he worried about them rounding up all the immigrants and shipping them out? He said, how are they going to do that? Because within 2 days, we won't have any food. This is where all the food, like, I think people forget, I guess because, you know, we're so modern now. I guess people forget that food comes from the field. I guess people forget that food comes from agriculture and from the field and from farms. And those farms and those fields and those manufacturing plants, they need people. They need people that are hardworking and willing to work. And it seems like the only people that you can find to do this type of work and do it at a level that is adequate is Mexican and El Salvadorian immigrants. So much for deporting everybody. We're going to see how that works. We're going to see how that turns out. We're going to see if Black people are going to get in those fields, if white people are going to get in those fields, if Asian people are going to get in those fields. We're going to see, because it's going to be a food shortage in about a day or so.
There will not be food anywhere.
2 days.
Yes. That's why I predict nobody will be filling the shelves, nobody will be producing food. If we once have to shut down and be gone, it's never coming back.
Does Governor Noem understand that?
I would think so.
You have a lot of faith that they're not going to do what they're saying.
That's pretty much what I'm thinking. So we have to trust in our officials that are put in place.
Yeah. So that's that. All right. 1 second. Let me get it right here. Bulls fan said these immigrants and illegals are in jobs that used to be slave positions, sharecropping positions. They moved us out after the civil rights movement and the enforcement of the 14th Amendment. I agree with that a little bit, Bulls fans. Now, I know that black people were into sharecropping after slavery, right? So were white people. White people is plenty of documentation of white people actually sharecropping. Many black people looked at sharecropping as a step up from slavery, right? But sharecropping was a big, Ponzi scheme because many black people could not move up. They ended up always owing the landowner. That's an interesting comment. The question is will black people do it again? Who will do the work is the question. It's not whether or not the work is going to be there. At this point in time, the way black folks think, the way white folks think, and are unwilling to do certain type of work, who will work the work? Who will work those actual jobs is my question, because it is not easy work. It is not no easy work. So that's the real question. Who's going to be down to actually work this, or who just wants to be in humanities and social sciences and work in offices? That's the real question. The people champion, you one of these Democratic shields, and you one of these trolls. Are you even black? I don't give a damn about Democrats or Republicans. Let me tell you something. That's what it is with these. That's what it is with these people. It's like it's either Democrat, Republican, the right or the left. It's to me, Democrats and Republicans is like Crips and Bloods. It's like Crips and Bloods. As a black person, as black people, and y'all know this, y'all rock with me. I don't give a damn about voting. I don't care who's in office. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? I could care less about who's in office, because the bottom line when it comes to my community is still going to be the same. Hell, you can look at with Barack Obama. What did Barack Obama do for black people? Nothing. So I could care less about who's in office, who's a Democrat or Republican. This you on the wrong channel. Also, you just like, who was the other one? The one is it you the one that came and defended the last one? You on the wrong channel too. You know what I'm saying? Keep it up and you'll be up out of here too. Bulls fan said, I would if I wasn't 50. That's right. Listen, I would too, Bulls fan. I don't mind doing some work like that. I wouldn't mind doing some hard work, but that I actually going to get paid for that I could actually, take care of my family. I wouldn't mind doing it. Hell, I wouldn't mind having my own farm. I would rather do that type of work than work the type of work that I have to work. Any work that in the city, I would rather just, get up, work my land, work my farm, cut my wood. That's typical what I would want. And I think a lot of people would like that. A nice, quiet, peaceful life, a nice evening, sit on the porch, watch my kids play. I would love that. So let me drop this. Let's go to the now. This one it's a little comedy. I had to throw a little, say, no, I don't want to keep it too serious. So I said I would throw a few videos in here today. And this one is about Steve Nash. This is something I did not know. It's wild though. All right.
Talk about crossing some serious boundaries, right? Well, it gets crazier because just a day after Alejandra gave birth, Nash filed for divorce. And the reason behind it? Nash believed.
Hold on, let me start it up. Now,
Barboza,
this is about
had
Steve
a little
Nash.
Barboza, who
This is about Steve Nash. Backdrop. This is like back in what? I'm assuming this is around the time where he won the MVPs. Okay. I didn't know nothing about this. Steve Nash, Barboza. I think they had on the team Steve Nash, Barboza. It was another dude that used to hate Kobe. Ray, what's his name? I can't remember his name right now, but he was one of those people that hated Kobe every time they played Kobe. But every time they played the Lakers. But anyway, this is Steve Nash. He won those 2 MVPs, which I feel Kobe should have got. Kobe was robbed for those MVPs because he was crazy in that year. But the story is wild behind this. Now it involves him. It involves Leonardo. What's his name? Leonardo Barbosa and Jason Williams. Let me play.
Barbosa, who played with the legendary Steve Nash as a teammate at the Phoenix Suns, had a little something going on with none other than Nash's wife, Alejandra Amaria. Talk about crossing some serious boundaries, right? Well, it gets crazier because just a day after Alejandra gave birth, Nash filed for divorce. And the reason behind it? Nash believed that the baby was not his, but Barbosa's. Ouch! Because the baby comes into the world and guess what? It's black. And trust me, that's not the worst part.
You hear that? So when she had her baby, Nash's wife had her baby, he divorced her because the baby came out black. And everybody already thought she was messing with Barbosa. That ain't the end of it. But it took me back to the movie Life. Like, I'm the pappy. Let me get this.
Because after getting a DNA test done on the baby, Steve found out that even Barbosa wasn't the father.
Damn.
Instead, turns out Jason Richardson.
Bro. Jason Richardson. I said Jason Williams. Jason Richardson, who he won slam dunk contest. Everybody know who he is, right? They was all on the same team. So Steve Nash's wife, she was being nasty. She was getting around with brothers on the team, had a baby by Jason Richardson. I never heard that story. Crazy. It's crazy to even hear the story, but it's like, bruh, like, I see why he got rid of her quickly. You know what I'm saying? Quickly. That was exactly unpopular opinions. That was crazy work. That was crazy work. But let me get on. Let me get to this next story. All right. Now this one is about abortion. Now this is crazy work. Crazy work. All right.
Seeing eye to eye and stuff, so I didn't want to bring the kid into that.
Abortion, man. Abortion's in the chat.
But sometimes I wish I could.
Kept it. It's normal to feel that way too, but
Yeah.
sometimes I don't.
You know,
So they're talking about abortion. The sister said sometimes, she wish she had kept her baby. I don't know who this sister is. I see her with this brother. It says trust kids on their hoodies. I don't know who these people are. But it's called Never Pass the Blunt. I guess it's a podcast with this sister to the right sitting here with these butterfly eyelashes on. But it's wild of what is being discussed and what she says. Okay.
there's no point for real for
Why did you have the abortion? You just wasn't ready for a kid.
I didn't want to bring the kid into a broken home
type shit.
You know.
Now, she said, asked her why she had one. She said she didn't want to bring the kid into a broken home. I guess she wasn't getting along with her significant other. She didn't want to bring the kid in. And that's a horrible thing, because if you really think about it, from the beginning of us being here in America, especially on the plantation, our women would never think about doing this to their children, aborting their children. Now, they had to worry about their children coming up missing while they were out in the field and being sold to another plantation. So that woman would never, ever, think in her mind to, I'm in slavery. I don't want to bring the child into this broken family. Our women didn't think like that. You know what I mean? If anything, she wanted that baby to live and to thrive and to become strong. You understand? And so that has been the brainwashing of America. And that's what it has done to our people. It has brainwashed our people, men and women, to think that this is something that is an option when it has never been a thing that our people thought about until the inception right here in America. Okay.
You know, the relationship wasn't really working out.
Yeah.
We weren't seeing eye to eye and stuff, so I didn't want to bring the kid into that.
Abortion, man. Abortion's in the chat.
But sometimes I wish I could
Kept it.
Now she's saying sometimes I wish I could have kept it. Keep going.
It's normal to feel that way too, but sometimes I don't.
You know, the first
You hear that? Now this sister on the right said it's normal to feel that way. I don't. As though she just has no feeling at all. But this ain't the worst of it.
first thing I said when I woke up, because they had to put me to sleep, I was like, 4 months.
I had 4.
For real? Damn.
She said, I had 4. The same one said, I don't regret it. You know, I don't wish that I had any of them. She said, I had 4. The sister to the left said, for real? Like, damn. You see the look on her face is like, damn.
I had 4.
For real? Damn.
I was.
Do you see that? You see that now this sister is feeling, she's feeling bad about 1. She's feeling bad about, I wish I should have kept it. She said, I don't. I had 4. She said, damn. That's crazy work. That is, and you know what? I want to stop saying that's crazy work. You know what I'm saying? That's one of them words. That's one of them words with a crazy work, diabolical. What's some of those other words, y'all, that need to go? They need to, they done came up for the last couple of months, probably a whole year, and you get caught on saying them, you know what I mean? But this is the thing, man. This sister right here, she feels some type of remorse, and she feels something for that abortion that she had, and she kind of sometimes wish that she didn't have it. I don't know how long it's been, but she feels a sense of remorse for it, while this other sister is like, I don't. I had 4. She's walking around with a cemetery in her womb, and she has no feeling at all, completely. That's sad. Actually, that's really sad. It's unfortunate. What y'all think?
Knock the fuck out, I don't remember nothing.
Really? Yeah, me neither. Like, she said, count to 3. I don't even remember.
I
Like,
swear, after that, I just...
yeah.
And then I woke up, and I was like, what the fuck?
I
Gave me some crackers and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Literally, I'm like, the first thing I said, can I see the baby? I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. Why you wanted to see it?
I feel like I got attached to it.
You seen it?
No, they didn't let me.
That's crazy.
She said the first thing when she woke up, she wanted to see the baby, and they didn't let her see the baby. The reason why they didn't let them see the baby is because the way they have to get a baby out of a woman during one of those procedures is they literally break the baby apart while it's alive. And there's been studies that these babies are fetuses, or whatever they want to call them, people that are pro-abortion. They have studies that say that those babies, they do feel pain. They feel pain. You understand? Let me keep going.
Let me, but I was like, can
Do
I
you
see
have
it?
dreams still?
Sometimes. Like, it's kind of weird because, like...
And it's like she on the right hand, she's going through all of the same things this sister is going through. Like she said, do you have dreams still? So I don't know. I've never talked to anyone, but apparently I'm assuming that a woman has dreams or nightmares about this child that they aborted. But this sister, it's just so crazy that this sister on the right hand is so detached after having 4, of course. And then this sister that I'm assuming only had 1, and she feels so sentimental and remorseful for having it done.
I'll think about it, and I'll be like, damn.
Crazy. Let me look at your comments. Kalma said, that sister that had 4, one by a brother standing behind her. Whoa. The sister is known for doing some diabolical things on TikTok. She is a shameless woman. I get it. Now I understand a little more. Yes, I understand now. After killing your child, why would you want to see it? Right, right. Damn, right. It's disgusting. It is sad, Ron. It is sad that our sisters are so brainwashed and have went to such a low state that they would be able to even do something like this and then talk about it as though it's not nothing. You know? Talk about it as though it's just, that time when I broke my ankle 4 times. It don't bother me. I don't care. You know. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Like, once again, when it comes to that idea that they also did statistics. There's statistics that came out of Florida for the reasons that women will go and do this procedure. And the pro people say that what about sexual assaults, a pregnancy from that? What about complications, medical complications? Those are the reasons they say why a woman should be able to do it. You can't negate those reasons. Well, those reasons come up to like less than 0.1% of the reasons why sisters go and do that procedure. Like 92% of the time, it's simply because they can. It's no real reason. And like saying that you didn't want to bring a child into the world because of a dysfunctional home, to medical professionals, that is not an actual valid reason. A valid that to them, it's not like, it's just like, it's because you can do it. You still want to do your career. You still want to be free. You still want to be able to sleep around and do what you want to do and live your life. We understand women come here all the time, but that's not that they counted that for no reason at all. And it blew my mind. I was just like, whoa, like that's how they look at it. Like they look at it like, what? Because women can do it, they do it. And the cold part is that those aborted fetuses, they're not just waste. Like how, people think. They're not just waste. They use that stuff for testing and stuff, for other scientific, tests and procedures and projects. And that stuff is getting how can I say, what is it called? It's not called waste, but it's, it can be used for other studies. And that's what happens with it. And it's just a whole racket all around, because these people is getting paid to perform it. And then they're selling the stuff to somebody else that wants to buy it, which is crazy. That's crazy. So let me get to the next video. All right. This is another funny video. I'm sure y'all done seen this one. Crazy work. Let me see.
She's a great champion. Very, very nice fight, Michaela.
God damn, yeah. We know Michaela had a nice fight, because look at her. I kind of don't understand why they let anybody fight that long where, their head be swelling up like that. She doesn't even look like a person.
Expected? Yeah, it was definitely much tougher than I expected. She's a great champion. Very, very nice fight, Michaela. Also,
Michaela over there looking like ain't nobody touched her. It don't look like it was a fight. It looked like it was unequal as hell. Michaela looking regular. She over there looking like she got a tumor in her head. She looking like she got plastic surgery.
Unfortunately, too many headbutts. First round, it was my head.
Bruh, she is looking like Beauty and the Beast. Michaela is over there looking she looking like she can halfway put on some clothes and go sit down at a restaurant and still, nobody will even pay attention to her. But her right here, she looking like Beauty and the Beast.
head that started to bleed, and then, well, look at me. I look like a freak show.
Yeah, like she didn't even have to say, "Look at me." We can see. She all swole up. Y'all ever seen Beauty and the Beast? Yeah, she swole up. Renee said, this is going back. She said, when I was pregnant with Callie, they said that she didn't have a heartbeat and gave me a prescription for, whoa, that's crazy. Renee, pill, but but you didn't take it. Okay. Bulls fan, she looked like a character from Deep Space Nine. Damn. Yeah, she is looking messed up, man. I don't understand why they let people fight that long where you be having those hematomas and your head be swelling. Like, it's a possibility that your brain could be bleeding or something like that. That's just crazy. Yeah. And look at Michaela. She over here looking like, she look as though she ain't got touched. I look a little swole. Meanwhile, her whole head is swole. She looked like y'all know those twins. There was 2 twin white guys that they started getting plastic surgery, and then they got so much plastic surgery that they didn't even look human no more. That's what she looks like. All right. Enough of that. Let's get back to a serious. Let's get to something serious. She do look like, yeah, she does look like Beauty and the Beast. She's effed up.
Hardly been equaled by the Europeans come to this continent, literally ethnically cleanse the indigenous population out of existence, kill them on a scale that has hardly been equaled by the millions, and refer to them as savages.
That's crazy, right?
That's an achievement.
That's an achievement. And what he just said, and you have to shout out, and it's usually the older white folks that can pinpoint, that can really have the cojones, the balls to talk about how their people really are, to talk about the history. It's very rare to find white folks that are really real with the history. There's a older white woman, and she just talks about, she goes to colleges and she talks about racism. She does tests and all, tests and exercises with the classes to show them how racist they are. She's white. And they do not like her, but it's very rare to find them where they are young and they actually will admit and talk about the things and the cruelty of their people. Now, here you have this older man talking about the fact that Europeans came here and they basically cleansed the land, basically, wiping out millions of North American Indians, and then they called them savages. And what you have to understand is that was a crazy marketing plan. You wipe out the people and call them savages. Like, really? Like, really, who is the savage? Really, who is the one that is uncivilized? Who is the monster? And you got to understand, like, when we was coming up, we would read, I remember social studies when I was in grade school. Social studies, you talk about the Native Indians, it's probably like a page, maybe a paragraph. And I do remember specifically it talking about white people as though they were like heroes, and Native American Indians, it mentioned them as savages. I remember that. Now, I ain't been in school in a long time. I'm not sure if they still have textbooks like that that's called Native Indian savages, but I remember reading that about Native Indians, that they were savages. Thank you, Bulls fan. Jane Elliott, but she's not down with reparations, but that is her, right? I don't think none of them will ever be down with reparations, but the point is that is a marketing scheme that they, promoted this in the textbooks. Savages, 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 heroes, civilized heroes. And so now you have people that have been devalued by, the oppressor, or the people who wrote the history books, but it was over a period of time where they're constantly saying this thing, savages. And he's saying it like he's explaining it like that is an achievement. It's crazy that they were able to do this. White people is what he's talking about.
Who's the savage? If you go, the first time I encountered this was in a little town in Massachusetts called Deerfield, or Old Deerfield. It's a reconstruction of what that little town looked like in colonial America. And so the houses are redone to look like they did then. Very nice job. It's a tourist thing. You go there and you look at that. And in front of each house is a plaque that explains something about this house. It was inhabited by the Yipsy Doodle family or whatever it was. And then description. On the 18th of October of 1702, the savages attacked. I remember the first time I saw this, the savages. You come in here, destroy everything these people have, and they are the savages. That's an interesting move.
It is.
You know?
I hadn't thought of that before.
Think about it.
That's another thing. First of all, I just want to speak to this. They had to remake the homes of how they were. They had to build stuff how it was back in the time when the Pilgrims and the Puritans came in order to tell the story. But in telling the story, they called them savages. Now you see this young white man says, that's interesting. I haven't heard of, I haven't thought of it like that. That's the problem with white supremacy. They don't think about it like that. They think about it in terms of, whiteness, and they never really, start to add and subtract and put themselves in the place of black and brown people. And so they look at it from a viewpoint where they're detached to what we actually go through and how we actually feel about our history. And it's to the point where if you talk about your history, it agitates them. It agitates them. They get, uncomfortable, and they are on the defensive. Like, oh, you always crying. You're always complaining. I don't want to hear about that. You're playing the victim card, buddy. They don't understand because they don't have to think like that. They don't have to put themselves in that place. They don't have to feel empathy or feel any type of remorse because no one forces them to do that. They don't have to do that. And so that's why they get defensive and they get upset when you talk about it, or they say that was a long time ago. Why are you bringing it up? You wasn't a slave. I didn't own slaves. And so that is the dilemma, or that is the problem that they have, is that they're so disconnected that, they can't understand where you're coming from. Looking at black and brown life is like, looking on, YouTube or social media and understanding it from news reports. That's how they understand us. They don't really understand the true experience. And then when you put it in their face, it is like impossible a lot of times for them to accept the crimes of their forefathers. Impossible most of the time. I've been on the streets many times, and I'm a Hebrew Israelite. So, and the ISUPK, they come before us all the time and they say, yeah, I love black people. Oh, I feel the remorse for this. And then when we ask them to prove it, that pride that they have, it just won't let them do certain things. It won't let them admit certain things. And they are disconnected. Now I'm going to go on to the next video. I wasn't planning on, let's see. Oh, we're good with the time, right? Shout out to you, Big Eber. Smallpox, yellow fever, genocidal tenacious. They corrupted a lot. They corrupted a lot and lied a lot. That is true. That is true. Now, this video I saw yesterday, this is Tonye and Anyanwu. He's a Nigerian, born in Nigeria, okay? He is a business professional who teaches people or helps people relocate to Dubai, okay? This went viral yesterday when I was looking at this clip. This clip was about 1 million views on TikTok. Today, when I went to go download the clip, it was about 5 million views. The comments are going crazy with white people because, of course, they agree with what he is saying. And because most people, not just white people, see black people, anybody with color, as the same group of people. And so if you get a black man, quote unquote, that is talking down on black folks for bringing up slavery, of course, people that don't understand us, people that don't want to feel guilt or shame about what their ancestors did to us, they will definitely rally behind those men and women. You remember they rallied behind Candace Owens, made her platform humongous, and then they turned on her, you know. But yes, hey, what's good with you, Black Rain 303? Hey, shalom to you. Peace, fam. Hope everything is well. So yeah, I'm gonna get into this. Let me get this video.
My great-great-grandmother was sold. Black people sold black people, white people just paid for it. My great-great-grandmother was sold by her father to another black man, who then sold her to who became her husband and had kids, not a white person in sight. Well, so while people are being stuck on, especially when I hear this dumbass thing as reparations for slavery, I'm like, dude, slavery was everywhere in the world. Yeah. There was slavery in the Arab world, in the Persian world, in the Greek world, in Europe. White, blonde, blue-eyed Polish people were slaves to Germans. So white, blonde, blue-eyed Germans. So what are you talking about? Like slavery is something that only black... You guys play too much respect to racism. Yeah. If we were all white or we were all black, we're still going to discriminate against each other. You know what we discriminate against? Eye color. Thank you very much. It's human nature. It's human nature. Yeah. We'll find something, oh, your ear is too big. I tell people, as long as you're a competition, you're a threat. And as long as you're a threat, somebody will try to do something to remove you. It doesn't matter if you're white or black. And on the opposite side, as long as you can add value, doesn't matter if you're black or if you're white, you will be appreciated or recognized.
Now that's Tonye Anyanwu, Nigerian businessman living in Dubai, helping people move to Dubai if they want to relocate. I'm gonna play it again and I'm gonna chop it down bit by bit, because you know, it's some things I'm gonna bring out about these Africans. And yeah, I'll get to it. Let me get to it.
Black people sold black people, white people just paid for it.
Number one, I would say that's a lie, but I would just say that he is ignorant of history, just like a lot of black people in America are ignorant of history. Black people did not sell black people. Black people that you know today that went to the transatlantic slave trade, that went to Jamaica, that went to the to Brazil, that went to Colombia, Puerto Rico, black people that went to these islands and went to America. These black people were not the same as the people who sold them. There's enough information now today that documents that these people were culturally and ethnically different, that documents that Africans in the Ivory Coast kept a tight control over who can be sold and who could not be sold, meaning they were not going to let, it wasn't something random where anybody dark skin was being grabbed, because it was controlled by Africans. It was controlled by Africans. And yes, white people did come and pay a price for that cargo. They did come and pay with spices, with rum, with wine, with musket guns. That did happen. My problem is with Tonye and with any, descendant of slaves, or even with black people that don't understand. You don't understand that there's a difference between the Negroes and the Africans. You don't understand that everybody dark skin is not the same. And so he's premising his argument about slavery, happening everywhere. And he's premising it on the fact that he thinks that black people sold their own people and that anybody that's dark is the same. Let me keep going.
My great-great-grandmother was sold by her father to another black man, who then sold her to who became her husband and had kids. Not a white person in sight. Well, so while
Now,
people are being stuck on.
Now you heard that. He said his great grandmother was sold by his grandfather. Let me make sure. Let's get this correct. Then I'm gonna go into
Black
it.
man, who then sold her to who became her husband.
His great grandmother was sold by a black man who sold her to a man that became her husband. Many people, and I would think that he's a businessman and he's so articulate and he's so smart that many people don't understand this, is that in Africa, there was slavery before the transatlantic slave trade happened. The problem is that people look at slavery across the board as the same. Now, African slavery was like a type of servitude type of slavery, meaning you would be a part of the family. You would be a part of the family. You would have status like family members. It was not the same thing. So this was going on in Africa, but this does not negate what Africans did when they sold black people to Europeans and what later on happened in the Americas. This is not, this was already happening in Africa. So it makes no sense for him to bring that up only to someone who is uneducated and who thinks that all black people are the same. Okay. This is similar to the slavery in the Bible that was going on in Africa. Well, it's similar to that because, a lot of people say, well, the Bible condones slavery when men servants and women servants were simply servants who were not chattel slaves, but who had rights, sometimes rights the same as the people they lived with, and who were like family, loved by family, and sometimes naturalized or became family, meaning they married into the family. So when you start to say things like that, let's be clear that the type of slavery that they did in Africa was not the same as chattel slavery, which black people went through with white people, meaning you were property. You were like a dog, like a horse, or like a cow. And when you had a child, they were property also. Let me keep going.
And had kids, not a white person in sight.
He said, not a white person in sight. And, he's an African, he's a Nigerian. So, they like to cater to, what white people believe. You know what I mean? And I'm going to show you why.
Well, so while people are being stuck on, especially when I hear this dumbass thing as reparations for slavery, I'm like, dude, slavery was everywhere in the world.
You hear that disdain he has? I hear this dumbass thing for, reparations for slavery. Listen, as a black man, I believe black people should get reparations, but also as a black man, I don't believe that black people will ever get reparations. I'm just being 100. I know the manner of oppressor that I'm dealing with. I know who the people are that we're asking reparations from. I don't think that reparations, even if we did get it, would fix the problems that black people have within the black community. I don't think it will fix it. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the question of whether or not will reparations fix black people, or my opinion is we'll never get it. The question is it old? Nigga, is it old? Reparations is old. If we're going to base it on the same system that they based in reparations for Jewish people, then reparations is damn sure old. I don't care if it breaks the system. There was a white man that he did the research. He calculated the 16-hour work days that slaves did, and he came up with a number. It was around $13 trillion for reparations. Will the United States cut that type of check? Of course not. I don't believe that. But why is it that if black people even speak that people have a problem with it? Nobody is saying anything about Jewish people getting billions of dollars from America, from a Holocaust that didn't even happen on American soil. Nobody is saying nothing about that. You know why? It's because it's only black people that they focus on. It's only us that they're focused on when these things are actually happening, have happened in history, happening right now, and everybody got their mouth is shut. They ain't got nothing to say. Okay. Let me keep going.
World.
Yeah.
There was slavery in the Arab world, in the Persian world, in the Greek world, in Europe. White, blonde, blue-eyed Polish people were slaves to Germans. White, blonde, blue-eyed Germans.
Excuse me. You hear that? This same thing. I can cut this every time because he's using the same talking point that white supremacists they use. They use the same talking point and say there was slavery in the Arab world, in the European world, the Greeks, the Jews. You can't show me that the Greeks were selling their own people. The Greeks were not selling their own people into slavery. The Romans were not selling their own people into slavery. The Arabs were not selling their own people into slavery. So why do you think that the people that came through the transatlantic slave trade were the same damn people? It's because you're uneducated and you're educated in a Western education and you haven't did the research yourself to understand. Like I said, it's very well documented that the people that went on this transatlantic slave trade were not the same people as the ones that were selling them. And that is a scapegoat that a lot of people want to use to say, you can't be mad at white people for slavery. Look at what the Africans did to their own people. Your own people sold you. They were not my own people. I have as much disdain for them, and they should take as much culpability as white people should. They were the seller, white folks were the buyer. You know what I'm saying? But to say they all these places had this slavery, remember, chattel slavery is not the slavery that the Romans had. Chattel slavery is not the slavery that the Greeks had or the Arabs, right? It's only when you get to the transatlantic slave trade where there is no other slavery that was like what black people went through with the European Americans. So let's just cut that, Tonye and Anyanwu. Knock it off.
So what are you talking about? Like slavery is something that only black. You guys play too much respect to racism.
Yeah.
You know what? I would love to talk to him. I would love to have a debate with him about this. You know, I doubt he'll actually talk to me once he finds out who I am in the ISUPK. I doubt that. But we have to cut down the lies and cut down people that get up on this damn app and say anything about black people. And you know, they have a disdain for us Africans. He's a Nigerian. They have this disdain. It's almost like they're envious. Like he's supposed to be this big businessman helping people move to Dubai. Do that, Tony. Don't worry about black people over here. We good. We good. You understand? Don't worry about that. Worry about Dubai or worry about Nigeria. You know what I'm saying?
If we were all white or we were all black, we're still going to discriminate.
You know
against
what we
each other.
discriminate against? Eye color.
Thank you very
It's
much.
human nature.
He said if we were all white or we all black, we would still discriminate against one another. Listen, I believe black people right in America discriminate against other black people. I believe black people right in America hate on other black people. But this is the thing. It's one thing for you to do that to yourself within your own race. When another race does these things to you based on your skin color, that, my friend, is an act of war. That's an act of war. You understand? You can't sit here and like that's a given that humans are going to do human things. There's certain things that people are going to do. But when you do something to a race of people, and it's solely based not on the content of their character, not on what comes out of their mouth, not on, what they're capable of or their accomplishments, but it's based on what they look like, and you continue to do these things and they're evil, then that's an act of war. So I don't know what he's talking about. I don't understand why everybody is coming for Black Americans as though we're the problem. But if that's what it's going to be, then I want the smoke.
Nature.
It's human nature.
Yeah.
We'll find something. Oh, your ear is too big. I tell people, as long as you're a competition, you're a threat. And as long as you're a threat, somebody will try to do something to remove you. It doesn't matter if you're white or black. And on the opposite side, as long as you can add value, doesn't matter if you're black or if you're white, you will be appreciated or recognized.
So to that point, that goes without being said. He said, as long as you add value to yourself, you're a threat. Listen, that goes without being said that people will gravitate to you. If you have a talent, if you have an ability, if you have a skill set, everybody knows that. Look at entertainers. Everybody loves them. Everybody loves to see you dance and do break dance moves and spin and, you know, fight in the boxing ring. But until you say that you support, you know, Israel, or until you say, I want, you know, officers need to stop shooting unarmed black men, that's when the love stops. Like they love you to be entertainment. Everybody will love black people, you know, as long as we're entertaining, as long as we're doing flips and backflips and high kicks. Yeah, they love us. That goes without being said. You don't even have to say that. We know that. We know that if we go to school and we attain skills and a skill set, that we're valuable to certain companies. We know that. That goes without being said. But people hating on you because the fact that you are who you are, that's something else. That's a hater for you. You know what I'm saying? And Tonye and Anyanwu, he's a hater. And it's not out of the realm of how Africans are towards black people. They hate for no reason. He said these things with so much disdain. And it's because black people ain't really recognized that, listen, we're not the same people. We got a totally different spirit from them. His ancestors is the ancestors that rounded our ancestors up and put them on cargo slave ships. And he's from Nigeria, but I bet he's not living in Nigeria. They leave in that country as much as they saying, come to the country, to black Americans. Come and spend your money to stimulate the economy. Meanwhile, 5 black women that moved over there and got unalived. Talk about that, Tonye and Anyanwu. Won't you talk about that? Talk about the disdain that Africans have for black people. Black Americans that come over there. Talk about how they extort black people, charge them double and triple a price for something because they think that black people got it like that because they came from America. Ain't nobody talking about that. Ain't nobody making videos about that. But you want to sit up here and try to down my people, man. Man, shouldn't no dog be talking about black Americans. We the people that got all the flavor. We the people that make things go. Really, though, I know everybody hates us, but at the same time, they just cannot, you know, let us go. They have to emulate and then take and steal. It's crazy work, but it is what it is. Like we are them. We are really them. And you just see it because, listen, man, Tonye should be focusing on Dubai. He should be doing what he's doing over there instead of, you know, talking about black issues. We're not the same. We're not the same. I ain't no damn stinking Nigerian. We're not the same. Matter of fact, I got an interview with a Nigerian that told me about the word akata. Did that interview like what? That was like 4 or 5 years ago. He talked about the word akata. It's a word for black Americans. Cotton picker. You can knock it off with talking about we the same. If we the same, when has the boat came from Africa to come pick up their long lost relatives that they sold? Why you don't see why you don't see Africans doing you know, DNA tests and all that to find their relatives in America? Why is it always one way? Why is it that black Americans is trying to find their way over there, but Africans ain't trying to find that? If they do come over here, they doing their own thing. They sticking to their people. They turn their head up to us. Y'all know I'm telling the truth, the black authentic truth. I ain't never had listen, I had African associates. I ain't never had an African friend. I ain't never had, you know, an African known for African to actually be down with black people. Ever. And I ain't mad at it. I'm mad at my people for not knowing the difference. I'm mad at my people for being ignorant and stuck in the education of the Western world to think we're relatives when we are not. All right, we are not. We are not relatives. We are not them. They not like us. Feel me? They not like us. You know what I'm saying? All this damn disdain and all of this energy towards black people. For what? Because we the light of the world. That's why. That's why they have so much disdain. And yeah, black people might be messed up. We might, we might make bad choices, might be messed up here in America, might have, dysfunctional families. But guess what, man? We are them. We them people. We're the people. We're those people. We're the same people that was Moses. We're the same people that was, that was King David. We them same people. We them same niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why we people gravitate to us. It's just too damn bad that they gravitate to us for the negative reasons and not the positive reasons. It's too damn bad they gravitate to us for the wickedness that we do, because we make wicked, bad shit look good, but they don't gravitate to us for the righteous things that we do and the righteous stances that we take. It's just too bad that they don't do that. You know what I mean? And it's all good though. Just remember, Tonye and Anyanwu, can y'all hear me? It says my mic is disconnected. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Yeah, it looked like I'm good. It said, Renee said, a African ran into my car last night. Damn. That's crazy. Right. They hate us because they ain't us. You know what I'm saying? You want to put all that energy into hating black people. Put that energy into building up your people. Why are you worried about black people? Why are you worried about black people getting reparations? Why are you worried about black people if we talk about slavery? Why are you trying to explain away slavery? I don't get if I was a black person that thought that all black people were the same, I'd be like, I don't get this nigga. Why is he trying to explain away slavery? But from a biblical standpoint, they are Hamites. To the audience, if you don't know what a Hamite is, go look it up. They are Hamites and we are Shemitic people. We are Shemites. Niggas are Shemites. So we're not even the same. We're not cut from the same cloth. It's funny because, that was some years ago and they had the Olympics, right? This was a minute ago. But I remember it was crazy to me because it was the Olympics, right? And this is the year when Kobe was on the Olympics. You had that dream team or whatever, second dream team or whatever. And they went and played Nigeria. And I tell you, I looked at the score and the score was like, they was like up by 60 or 70 points. And I'm like, how? Like, that's how better the Black Americans were than the Nigerians. And I thought to myself, like, I thought we all the same. Like, like when it comes to like, NFL owners, whatever, professional sports owners, and they go and scout. Typically, you go to the hood, and that's where you'll find the rawest of the raw talent. You'll find that raw talent, right? So with that same mindset, you go to a third world country, this talent is supposed to be rawer than a talent in America, right? This is the motherland. This is Wakanda motherland. This is everything. So they should be jumping out the gym, dribbling their behind off, scoring out the world. But the Black Americans were killing them on the court. What am I saying? What I'm telling you is we are different people. We have a different spirit. I don't care if it goes from the rap scene, the R&B scene, to sports, to sciences. We're just a different people. We're different. I know y'all don't understand that because y'all look at all black people as the same. You don't know in ancient times, all of the nations were different. They were all black. But you couldn't say, you know, the Egyptian wasn't the same as a Libyan. You know, the Egyptians wasn't the same as the Assyrians. The point I'm making is that we have a different spirit. We're different. We're God's chosen people. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do. Yeah, we messed up. Yeah, we on drugs. Yeah, we destroyed as a people. But we still have that thing in us that was put in us by the Most High that you can't take from us. Slavery couldn't take it away from us. Jim Crow couldn't take it away from us. Crack cocaine, drugs couldn't take it away from us. And can't no damn Nigerian African talk down on us and take it away from us. A white supremacist can't talk down and take it away from us because it's in us. The Lord put it in us. You know what I'm saying? But the point is that I looked at that and I'm like, damn, they got blowed out. You would have thought they would have had, you know, brought some heat. They supposed to be raw, uncut. But guess what they did? The last Olympics I seen, guess what Sudan and Nigeria did? They got some black coaches from America and they got some niggas on them teams. Yeah. In order to start winning games, they got some niggas. They got some niggas from America. They got one of the coaches I seen that he was on Nigeria. He was LeBron James' coach in Cleveland, the black brother. That's what they had to do to be able to compete. Because those Hamites could not compete with those Semites from America. Those niggas, they could not compete. They rhythm is it's a little bit off. The jump shots is a little bit off. The hops, everything is a little bit off. And so what they did was they got some brothers from America to play internationally for their teams. Just like you see brothers playing in China, you see brothers playing in Europe. Same deal, but it upped the level of their competition when they had to play Black Americans. Crazy work. Crazy work. Listen, and I didn't plan none of this, but I said I have to respond to this video. It's going viral right now on TikTok. It's probably like at 6 million. And guess who? And like I said, it is white people that are loving what he just said. Because, you know, they look at us like we all the same anyway. If you dark skinned, you the same. And it's giving them, what is the word? It's legitimate. It's making their argument legitimate to say, why are you talking about slavery when your people sold their own people? Because you hear him say, black man sold my grandmother. She ended up marrying the man he sold her to, which shows you that it wasn't chattel slavery. Shows you that it was that African slavery that they still practice in some places on the continent of Africa today. She ended up marrying the person she was sold to. Listen, Tony, stick to helping people move to Dubai. All right. Hey, man, thank y'all for rocking with me, man. That's about it for today. Everybody that's in here, man, make sure you like the video. I appreciate all the love. Let me see. Give you some shots out. I didn't get this comment. Big Eber said our answers were even in Britain and North America. North, South America, Asia, Europe, Middle East, we have indigenous roots all around the planet. When King Bulan, also Judah culture, true, what you're saying. We were everywhere. Black people have been everywhere. You look at those European kings during the Dark Ages. That's what we should talk about. I should bring that out one day. You know, all of the European kings, and you wonder how did the kings and the queens become white? Because of the Renaissance. It was only about around the 1600s, maybe 1600s, 15th century, 16th century, around there, when white people started to get back in power through marriage and, you know, fighting black people and regain power in Europe. And then once they regained power, they started to repaint images. They started to take black images, icons, they call them, and repaint them white and start to paint themselves in the recent history of Europe. So that's a crazy, that is a great marketing scheme, I might say. But they did that. They did that to the point right now. You can go in Europe and there's still statues with black men. They have statues with Moors. They have the Black Boy Pub. They have a lot of stuff going out there in Europe where the whitewashing ain't that bad, to where you can still see a lot of black statues still up when black people, when niggas was ruling Europe. It's crazy, crazy work. And yeah, we should do that. We should talk about that. We should definitely talk about that. Well, let me give y'all some shout outs real quick. Give y'all some shout outs. Let's go. Start from the top. Shout out to you, Renee Gaines, Sister Baratha Nawa, always rocking with me. Both of y'all. Bulls fan 25, you always rocking with me. The People Champion, I don't know about you. Shout out for being up in here. You know, maybe you was just a straggler. I don't know. Kyle Maz Boff, shout out to you for being here, always up in here. Who else? Unpopping Opinion, shout out to you for your input. I appreciate it. Ron Coleman, thank you for your input. I appreciate that, bro. All right. Let's see. Big Eber, shout out to you for all the information you put in. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. Black Rain 303, my main man, been rocking with me since, from another mother. You've been down. Shout out to you. You always up in here. UPK Priest Quada, shout out to you, brother. Always rocking with me. Appreciate you, bro. And let me see. Black Rain. UPK Priest. Sister Amara, shout out to you. Always rocking with me, all right? Kyle Miles, okay, we already, yeah, man. So that's about it. Like I said, I wasn't planning on going live today because I was like, I need to take some time off and restructure. I'm also trying to do that Christmas video, but also have a video, just go live on Christmas also. So I can cut and I can, sabotage the Christmas party. So I can, like what I did in Thanksgiving, I went live on Thanksgiving. And that live was live. I had about 500 people in here, which was, that was new for me, but that's what I want to do. I want to do something on Christmas. Everybody won't have nothing to do. They'll be sitting around at the house, full off of, some chitlins and some pork and God knows what else you shouldn't be eating. But yeah, I want to do that. So look for the future for me to, like I said, I've been saying this for a while, but to like change up things and, innovate and become better at what I do. So I appreciate all of y'all, man. Y'all have a good rest of your night or your evening. And with that, this is Black Authentic Truth. Peace, y'all. Y'all take care.